What's today? December 21st. It's just before 7 p.m. This is Leviticus chapter 17. I just want to point something out, make this really quick today. And they shall no more offer their sacrifice unto devils, after whom they have gone a whoring. This shall be a statute forever unto them throughout their generations. Watch this. Devils. Devil, a goat, hairy, kid, rough, satyr, sacrificial animal. Satyr may refer to a demon-possessed goat, like a swine, Gadara, in the book of Matthew, chapter 8. So, to better understand this, let's read it again. And they shall no more offer their sacrifices unto devils, unto this he-goat. So watch. This is Pan, the lowercase g god. Pan, the flute player. What's it say about Pan? Pan, in ancient Greek religion and mythology, Pan is the god of the wild, shepherds and flocks, nature of mountain wilds, rustic music and impromptus, and companion of the nymphs. He has the hindquarters, legs, and horns of a goat, in the same manner as a fawn or a satyr. This dude I kept asking, what the hell is a pandemic? And I'm starting to understand what a pandemic is. With his homeland in rustic Arcadia, he is also recognized as the god of fields, groves, wooded glens, and often affiliated with sex. Because of this, Pan is connected to fertility and the season of spring. The ancient Greeks also considered Pan to be the god of theatrical criticism. The word panic ultimately derives from the god's name. In the Roman religion and myths, Pan's counterpart was Faunus. Let's see. Faunus was the horned god of the forest, plains, and fields. When he made cattle fertile, he was called Inuus. He came to be equated in literature with the Greek god Pan. So that's Pan's counterpart, a nature god who was the father of Bonadea, sometimes identified as Fauna. To be the wife, sister, or daughter of Faunus. Varro regarded her as a female counterpart of Faunus, and said that the Fauni all had prophetic powers. He was also closely associated with Sylvanus. Sylvanus was a Roman tutelary deity of woods and uncultivated lands. As protector of the forest, he especially presided over plantations and delighted in trees growing wild. He is also described as a god watching over the fields and husbandman, protecting, in particular, the boundaries of whatever. Yeah. Due to their similar relationships with woodlands in the 18th and 19th centuries, Pan became a significant figure in the Romantic movement of Western Europe and also in the 20th century neo-pagan movement. Many modern scholars consider Pan to be derived from the reconstructed Proto-Indo-European god Fehusan, whom they believed to have been an impartial pastoral deity. Wow. The Rigvedic god Pushan is believed to be a cognate of Pan. The connection between Pan and Pushan was first identified in 1924 by the German scholar Hermann Kaulitz. The familiar form of the name Pan is contracted from the earlier Alf, derived from the root Pan, guard, watch over. In his earliest appearance in literature, Pan is associated with a mother goddess. Yeah. You know, Pan. The pandemic. We're in a pandemic. We're in a pandemic. Not an epidemic. Remember the opioid crisis? That was an epidemic. This is a pandemic. Is that worse? Or is that better? But I know during the opioid epidemic, they didn't do shit. But in this pandemic, they're doing a lot of that. This dude is like Baphomet. Pagan god Pan. Well, let's see. Okay. This is ridiculous, man. Now look at this. That's how you catch these people. What do you think that is? Let's go back one. See the shape of the wings? See the horns up on top? Is it going to put me back to it? Nope. Took it away from me. Well, you caught that. It actually took it away from me. Maybe. There it is. Can't make that grow. Ooh, much bigger it got. So anyways, if you look at this Baphomet and that Baphomet, ultimately the same thing. It's just the wings are inverted. Like, ridiculous. It's a pandemic. Should probably figure out this is. Right? Balance, I guess. There's Baphomet. Look at the upside down cross. It's awful. And pandemic of a disease prevalent over a whole country or the world. Why do I feel like somebody just came up with this freaking definition? An outbreak of a pandemic disease. From Pan, all plus demos people. Ha! Demons. That's funny. That's funny. So, what's the pandemic doing? All from that one word, devils, in Leviticus chapter 17, verse 7. Leviticus 17:7. And they shall no more offer their sacrifices unto devils, after whom they have gone a whoring. Now I understand why it's gone a whoring. To commit adultery, usually of the female. To commit idolatry. See, the Jewish people being regarded as the spouse of Jehovah, Yahweh. But this shall be a statute forever unto them throughout their generations. Go back and read the covenant in Deuteronomy 29. There it is right here, actually. Ye have seen their abominations and their idols, wood and stone, silver and gold, which are among them, to go and serve the gods of these nations. I wonder how Pan worked. I should look that up. I know it has to do with his music, and he soothes them into following him. They just follow the Pied Piper. That's what we can do. Let's do this. We're talking about Deuteronomy chapter 30 now. It's all about returning to God. God will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. Payback sucks, but it's like reward at the same time. If thou shalt hearken unto the voice of thy Lord, thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which are written in this book of the law, right here in Deuteronomy, and if thou turn unto the Lord thy God with all thine heart and with all thy soul, for this commandment which I have commanded thee this day, it is not hidden from me, neither is it far off. It is not in heaven, that thou shouldest say, who shall go up for us to heaven, and bring it to us, that we may hear it and do it. You don't have to go to heaven. It's right here on earth. We're reading it right now. That's what that means. It's in plain English. Neither is it beyond the sea that should say us, that thou should say us, who shall go over the sea for us and bring it unto us, that we may hear it and do it. The book's already here. The words are already here. It's not the book. It's the words in the book, the logos. But the word is very nigh unto thee, in thy mouth and in thy heart, that thou mayest do it. Because God wrote this word on the hearts and the minds of men, his children. See, I have set before thee this day life and good, and death and evil. And he lets lowercase g Pan have his way with you. He's trying to teach you and train you so you don't fall into Pan's trap. But that's how a test works. And that I command thee this day to love the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments, that thou mayest live and multiply. And the Lord thy God shall bless thee in the land whither thou goest to possess it. But if thy heart turn away, so that thou wilt not hear, but shall be drawn away, drawn by the piper, and worship other gods, and serve them, are you ready? I denounce unto you this day that ye shall surely perish, and that ye shall not prolong your days upon the land, whither thou passest over Jordan to go possess it. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessings and cursings. Therefore choose life. Why would you want to choose death? But some will. That both thou and thy seed may live eternal life. Not this temporary flesh life. That thou mayest love the Lord thy God, and that thou mayest obey his voice, and that thou mayest cleave unto him, for he is thy life, and the length of thy days, that thou mayest dwell in the land which the Lord sware unto the fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give them. Look, a little pain. You have to be very, very careful. See, this is what they got you looking at. That's what's a pandemic in your mind. But when you think spiritually, that's kind of like who's behind it. Make an excuse. Tell everybody it's for their safety. Not that I'm saying not to be safe. But how? Just exactly how? The thousands of years man's been on Earth. Just exactly how do you protect yourself from a virus? You try to stay as healthy as you can. So when you get it, this body that was wonderfully and fearfully made can overcome it. And at this point, I'm still trying to figure out how, if there's over a 95% recovery rate, how it's a pandemic. I'm not saying people don't die. People die every single day. But I'm just saying there's also no coincidences. And I think that's got a lot to do with it. Personally. right? You see what I'm saying? I mean, this dude has goat horns, goat feet, and goat hair. That's a goat feet, man. Ooh. That's Pazuzu. Look at this. See? Same guy. Same guy. See? It's all about sex. Pazuzu. Same friggin' guy. Hmm. A he-goat. And they shall no more offer their sacrifices unto a he-goat, after whom they have gone a whoring spiritually. This shall be a statute forever and unto them throughout their generations. It's in the covenant. Watch this. Proverbs chapter 1. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel. To know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding. You got that? To receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, judgment, and equity. To give subtlety to the simple. To the young man, knowledge and discretion. A wise man will hear and will increase learning. And a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsels. What wise counsel? God is the wise counsel. In this word, in this letter. Listen to all the things. This is what you should be praying for. Wisdom and instruction in order to perceive the words of understanding. To understand this word. All wisdom comes from God. To receive instruction of wisdom, justice, and judgment of equity. Stay with the subject and the object learning lesson here. These are all the things that would make you have an advantage over the rest of the world. A wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsels. To understand a proverb. What book are we in? Proverbs. To understand a proverb and the interpretation. That's an instruction. So pay attention. The words of the wise and their dark sayings. See? They're dark sayings. What are they saying? They keep it hidden. They keep it all behind closed doors. They're on another team. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. So fear the Lord and his covenant, right? Keep that contract, because the Lord created everything on the earth and every man under the sun that's trying to convince you maybe not to follow this contract or covenant. The fear of the Lord is the beginning. That fear, the word is revere, but let me tell you, fear. If you think the enemy can strike fear into its victims, imagine what God could do to the enemy. He created them. The enemy don't have that much power. But fools despise wisdom and instruction. Don't be a fool. My son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother. For they shall be an ornament of grace unto thy head, and chains about thy neck. We're not talking about chains to lock you up. My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. I might just stop right there. If sinners entice thee, consent thou not. If they say, come with us, let us lay wait for blood. Lay wait for blood. That means to premeditate murder. Let us lurk privately for the innocent without cause. Just for no reason. We hate them, let's just go kill them. Let us swallow them up, alive as the grave, and whole as those that go down into the pit. This is not good. My son, walk now, I'm skipping to 15. My son, walk not thou in the way with them. Refrain thy foot from their path. Are you guys taking this in? I hope you are. For their feet run to evil. Why would you follow that? And make haste to shed blood. Most don't even realize they're helping. Helping with what? Helping, what is it? Pan? It's crazy. Helping this guy. Pan. Pan the God. That guy. That's nuts. So are the ways of every one that is greedy of gain, which taketh away the life of the owners thereof. Mm-hmm. Look at, this is wisdom speaking. How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity, and the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. They just don't even know there's a problem. Won't listen to this word. Here's a promise. Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. What words? This word, the word we're reading. That's an awesome thought. How many don't understand this word? More people probably know Moby Dick. It's crazy. Because I have called, and ye refused. I have stretched out my hands, and no man regarded. God's elect guarded. But ye have sought all, ye have set at naught all my counsel. Didn't want it, and would not, none of my reproof. Can't tell me nothing, right? Unfortunately, he says, I will also laugh at your calamity, and I will mock when your fear cometh. When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you, then shall they call upon me. Just this will make you cry. But I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. For they that hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord, they would none of my counsel. They wouldn't listen to me, my word at all. They despised all my reproof, all my corrections. Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way, and be filled with their own devices. How else would you learn? For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. Don't read over that. The prosperity of fools. What is prosperity? That shall destroy them. It's a terrible place to be in when you feel like you're forced or mandated into doing something that you don't feel is right, that morally is wrong for you. But the rest of the world looks at it, the foolish, and they don't even realize it's against your commandments. It's against your religious practice to participate in certain things and ways of the world. But the world's not going to identify that for you. So you have to identify it and tell it to the world. Otherwise, it's the blind leading the blind. I was always of the ilk that washing your hands obviously is a good thing, but there can be too much of a good thing. If you keep yourself in a germ-free environment, your body gets used to that germ-free environment, and then when a germ hits you, it kicks the living crap out of you. God made dirt, and dirt don't hurt. But whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely, and shall be quiet from fear of evil. That is Proverbs chapter 1. That pretty much summarizes really. It's this guy. That's the pandemic. Everyone knows that the First Amendment gives Americans the right to speak freely and also exercise their freedom of religion, press, assembly, and petition. Free speech is a pillar of American values, but it is also the reason why some businesses are able to refuse certain services customers due to the or service to certain customers due to the owner's religious beliefs. These are court cases. Some win, some lose. The law is the law. The precedent of men isn't the law. What I'm saying is This is the law. See, these commandments, to keep his commandments. The commandments of God is the law. Our government shouldn't be breaking any of them. So when we're talking about constitutional laws, there can be no emergency that breaks the guarantee clause of the Constitution that says you can't infringe on any of these. You can read these. What is the difference between unlawful discrimination and lawful discrimination? I like how they try to skate around this stuff. I just told you what it is. There's a guarantee clause in the Constitution. It does not matter what emergency takes place. You can't get rid of one of those. If somebody doesn't want to participate, walk on by. They're trying to make this as like a legal maximum. Like you can't get out of. You can't get away from the COVID. They want everybody looking at everybody. That's why it's you. The most dangerous person is the one walking around that's completely healthy. Doesn't that sound backwards? They quarantine healthy people. None of the laws say you can quarantine a healthy person. None. So in order to do it, look at Governor Cooper. We are in danger, Governor Cooper said. We're in danger. I'll agree. I mean, to an extent. This guy's got nothing on the uppercase G. But he's powerful. I mean, the whole world whores after this plan.
Today, North Carolina cracking down on its mask mandate. Wake Up Charlotte's Richard Devane joining us live now. Richard, people will be required to wear masks in more public places. Here's the thing, if they don't, they could face some big consequences.
Not only some big consequences, Carolyn, good morning to you, good Wednesday morning all. They could also face a very stiff fine.
We are in danger. This is a pivotal moment in our fight against the coronavirus.
Now everyone must wear masks when indoors whenever someone who is not in the same household is present. The tighter restrictions also include wearing masks in private schools and gyms, even when people are working out, and in airports and train and bus stations. Masks must also be worn outdoors whenever physical distancing isn't possible, and when sitting at an indoor restaurant at a table, but not actively eating or drinking. Large businesses must also have someone checking that customers are wearing masks and that capacity limits are followed. Before, only businesses could get a citation. Now law enforcement can cite individuals or businesses for not complying.
We will continue to operate on an education, conversation-based platform, complaint-driven. We won't be randomly out enforcing the individual mask mandate.
Because they can't. By law, they can't. I know some places are. But they can't. They cannot force you to put something on your face. It's not one size fits all. It is not. It can't be. You got people out there with one lung. Ask them to shove a sock in their mouth to go buy a can of soup. It's ridiculous. We have entire buildings that have to be ADA accessible, handicap accessible for members of the public. If you got one lung and you need to still eat, and I know the whole point of, well, there's other ways to shop now. You can have things delivered, all that. You don't change your lifestyle because people come up with cockamamie rules. And where's the authority? It's not a law. The government can't write a law.
But if they do, that fine could be what's the equivalent of a Class C misdemeanor, a penalty of up to 60 days in jail or a $1,000 fine.
60 days. It's always got to be a 6 attached with this crap. 6 feet apart. This is a joke. $6 trillion COVID relief bill. Another $9 billion COVID relief bill. Just so happens the 9 is upside down as a 6. I know that's a stretch, but this whole thing is a stretch. Oh, and by the way, this is what it's all about. To help slow viral spread. To slow it down. You're still going to get it. People are still going to get sick. Help slow the spread, flatten the curve. Let's make some more gimmicks so we can keep taking more and more and more and more money. Do I have to wear a mask outside? Why would you listen to somebody that told you you did? That's what I think about it. It's a joke.